Nothing but bits.
Hey guys and girls, welcome back to That's Mr. Camper. This is another episode of the Bits, but this is a single big bit. So I'm going to go over it. The patches here, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, title update 9/23/2015. This will be the only bit for the bits is the patch, because I'm going to read this in its entirety because it has a lot of juicy information. This is posted on gearsofwar.com, their forum page, and it's by TC Pez Radar. I'll read through these, highlight a couple of the big ones, but I'm going to read it all just so you guys know exactly what's in this 4.7 gigabyte download for Gears of War Ultimate Edition. So they obviously changed a shitload. This was loaded up 4 minutes ago. It is 5 o'clock Central Standard Time right now, so yeah, this is pretty fresh news. Let's get into it. A title update is currently rolling out for Gears of War users Ultimate Edition. Please note that servers are still being updated and that there could be a long matchmaking times and issues with obtaining experience after games and connectivity issues. General improvements to the consistency of the Gnasher, bullet point there. Gnasher pellets now always shoot in a consistent pattern. That's good. Remove the idle state from multiplayer, which could cause the shooting trajectory to be more random. The idle sway, guys. Fixed a bug where some Gnasher shots were reporting as headshots incorrectly. Well, yeah, everybody's been on the receiving end and been on the doing end of that. You're like, oh my god, that was a headshot. He's 50 feet away. Hopefully they fixed that. It says that they did. The Coalition commentary, we wanted to improve the Gnasher by focusing on producing a consistent shot so players can better perfect and estimate the damage they are going to do to their opponents. We've done this by changing the Gnasher from a randomized pellet spread to the same shape spread. This will help reduce occurrences where you do less damage or more damage than expected, and also help players calculate their damage expectations during gunfights more accurately and consistently. Well, you should have done that in the first place. I'm sorry, I love you, Coalition. You'll put out a great game, but you should have done that in the first place. You shouldn't have to guess about the shotgun. That's for a different story. We're talking about the bits here. Additionally, we've removed the idle state from the multiplayer, which could result in your shot landing off. It affects it when you're not hard aiming. The idle sway of the shotgun, you might shoot left when you're moving right, and you might shoot right when you're moving left. That's what that means. And Annex. This is Annex. This is talking about the achievement here. Complete 100 matches in a ring-based game types on Xbox Live and capture 3 objectives in each match. All right. Nub Poner. Win 20 rounds in a ring-based game type on Xbox Live by shutting out the opposing team. Another achievement. Achievement descriptions have been updated to reflect the new unlock conditions. The Coalition commentary. We heard our fans loud and clear to spread these achievements across all ring-based game types, and we've also modified the achievement to work one-round scenarios, which is how most of the ring-based types are available in the public. For players looking to get some more playing time with others on Annex, we're currently looking at the potential ways of incorporating Annex into the future playlists or community events. Improvements to multiplayer spawn locations for Blitz and King of the Hill on the following maps. Yes, another great change here. War Machine's been changed. Old Bones has been changed. Gridlock's been changed. Process has been changed. Coalition's comments on this. The Coalition commentary. We've made further improvements to Blitz and King of the Hill on spawn base on the feedback from the community, as well as ESL preseason cup series. The guys that compete in ESL for the tournaments, they've obviously given some feedback, and some of it hasn't been that glorious about this game. We've adjusted some of the spawn locations on the 4 maps listed to provide more competitive, fair experience, such as removing the front door spawn when the when the frags are active in the hill on Mansion, that's good. You shouldn't spawn right on top of a power weapon or the top side of spawn on War Machine. Fixes invisible collision on the same multiplayer maps include Mansion, area around the boom shot, clock tower, debris at the top of the map. This is where you run into things and you get stuck. And also the crossing routes for clock tower. There was a really one for that top part where everybody lances across. Sometimes you'd get stuck right there, or you wouldn't be able to fire across cover there. The coalition commentary: the 2 Mansion changes were made to restore some of the legacy Lancer angles around Boomshot. You couldn't hit somebody on cover from the left side of Hot Tub. If you don't know what Hot Tub is, it's right below the frag grenades. You couldn't cross the guy at Eye Pillar on the opposite side. So that's what they improved there. And also the spawn points on War Machine. That feedback from the ESL guys in your tournament, OG old school players, they weren't getting their crosses that they were allowed to back in Gears 1. They wanted them back, and I guess the coalition got it back for them. Hey, crossing's good as long as the Lancer's not a super powerful weapon and you can still strafe around it, then I'm all about that. Reduce the flinching camera shake when taking damage in a multiplayer for the consistent with Gears of War 1. Okay, so you flinch less. Charge rev up camera shake when taking damage in multiplayer to be consistent with Gears of War 1. Alright, changed spectator mode now displays match score in the HUD. If you watch the team ESL tournaments, they couldn't display the HUD of who was winning the game, so it made it really hard to broadcast Blitz or King of the Hill because you didn't know who the hell was up. You couldn't really do that in execution unless you counted the guys that died, so they fixed that. Audio improvements for footsteps and movement sounds behind the player. That is a big deal, especially when you spent $200 on a headset. You want to hear people running up behind you. And people would just hide and cover, wait for you to pass, and then run in behind you and get you killed. So I thought that that's a big change that I was looking forward to. Improvements to server stability. Amen, brother. If you can't play with your friends, what's the point of playing? Fix a crash when muting players with a spectator in the game, okay? Fixed a bug when dead bodies could sometimes kept players from sliding into cover, and they would roll instead of move into cover. That's a big deal. I've been popped several times by the sniper because of that. Or you'd roll into it instead of sliding into it, and you would get meleeed while you're in your roll or shot in your roll. At least you're able to slide into cover now. General bug fixes and improvements. Let's see here. Director of Community of Gears of War and the Coalition following Gears of War on Twitter, Facebook. It tells you to follow them. This is a huge patch. My patch has been running for the past 10 minutes. Like I told you, it's been 4.7 gigabytes. It's sitting at 25% complete over that. I got pretty damn good internet, so you know that this thing's huge. There are some things that they didn't list in there. The body parts from being able to take cover beside a teammate would be one that I didn't see in here that I know that you can't do sometimes, especially on Mansion and in a couple of other places. You can't take cover beside a teammate, but they've hot fixed. It says, now when you go in there and see whether it's fixed or not, it might be two totally different things, or they're still tweaking a little bit. But the big ones for me was tweaking the shotgun to make it consistently fire consistently, which you need that. And you got to have that to get people to fighting right, okay? And I hope that camera shake thing, it involves the melee attack. It seemed like it was a really strong in this edition compared to Gears of War 1. And I did play Gears of War 1, and this seems double what it was in Gears of War 1. We'll find out once we hop in there. And a couple of the other fixes I really liked, especially the servers. People seem to warp more than they did in Gears of War 3, and that's saying something. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Bits. Leave a like, go download it. It's going to take you a little while to download it. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Bits. We'll see you later.